Hello everyone, this is another race at Goodwood. It's the same daily race as the last video, but instead of fuel saving and trying to do no stops, this time I run harder and do a one stop race, like is probably more usual um, for most people. So we've qualified fairly well. So that should help us stay out of trouble. We started in fourth, um, and as usual for the start, I'm using traction control level 1, and then I'm going to switch over to traction control level 0 right after the start. So we have a Lexus, a Huracan, and a... what else do we have? Oh yeah, the Subaru in front of us. So let's see how the start goes. The Subaru gets a really good start, and they're 3 wide. Okay, the Huracan has fallen back and actually takes itself out of the fight. So we move up into third, right behind GT Racer here in the Lexus. So my focus here is to just get a clean first couple laps, no incidents, no mistakes. We go a little wide there, but it's acceptable. A little wide again, but still okay. GT Racer goes a little wide and almost off the track. I think it was off track, but it worked out okay. But we gain a place up into second. Now we're behind the Subaru, who with that lightning start, and the Lexus just is all over the back of the Porsche here. So looks like GT Racer is gonna go through. I don't fight it too hard because it's just the beginning of the race. I actually get a cutback and slight contact, but unintentional and no harm done. I don't think there was contact there again, but almost. So I think this battle with GT Racer here is letting the Subaru just sort of pull away in the front. So it's good for him, bad for me. Oh, downshifted too much. Not ideal. As I was saying last video, ooh, someone's gone off behind us, so that gives us a little breathing room. But to finish my thought, as I was saying last video, that chicane right before the start finish is the hardest corner for me, and I just cannot carry as much speed through there as others can, and I just have to be super careful. I think I'm a little paranoid about that corner. So I think GT Racer and I are catching back up to Williams VR in the Subaru a little bit. Well, I should say GT Racer has caught up to the Subaru. I'm still a little bit behind. I haven't made up as much ground. So we're still running in engine mode 1. Not worrying about fuel saving really, and Williams VR goes very wide, and lets me catch up a little bit. But as you can see, GT Racer, after getting around Williams VR, just is pulling away, and Williams VR just goes off the track, and yeah, that's that. I mean, I guess I'll take that. Yeah, I feel like the real key to this race is just to not make mistakes. As I was saying that, GT Racer also makes a mistake, goes wide, and lets me get back, not get back, but get up into first. So after GT Racer's mistake, we are about almost 1.5 ahead. But the Lexus seems really quick, and the gap is coming down. So at this point, I'm thinking I'm probably not going to hold on to this place. So we're just going to fast forward through some laps here. Not much happens. The gap is around the 2-second mark, so I haven't let GT Racer catch up too much. But it's going up and down. As you can see, it's back down to 1.5, 1.3, less than a second. And I'm not sure exactly what happened there with GT Racer, but he just disappeared completely, and now Williams VR is behind us with about a 3.3 second gap. So I have no clue what happened to GT Racer. Maybe there was a mistake, or because I didn't see any pit stops, and I think it would be too early for a pit stop anyway. So again, we're on lap 9 now, and we're just maintaining that gap. Pit stop starting to happen, gaps going back a little bit to almost 5 seconds now to Williams VR. So now I think the pit stop window is really open, and a lot of people are going to start to pit. As you can see, 3, 4, 5 are all in the pits. Pretty low fuel usage, or I mean pretty low fuel levels when they pitted, except for one person who had a massive amount of fuel, 67, and I'm not sure why they would need to pit if they have that much fuel. But anyway, I didn't mention it before, but we have switched over to engine mode 2 just to save a little bit of fuel. Not too focused on it. As you can see, we're on lap 10 and we still have 1.6 remaining laps. This is going to be the lap that we do our pit stop. So here we go. Hard tires, the only choice. So Williams VR goes past as expected, but we have a fairly huge gap to third place, so that should be safe. We get a little extra fuel, a little extra over that dot that tells you how much you need to finish the race. So we come back comfortably in second place with the 13-second deficit to Williams VR. So remember that Williams VR has not yet pitted. So 13 seconds should be something that we can make up when Williams VR pits. So I think we should be able to go back up into first. What I've noticed about fuel saving in Gran Turismo Sport is that while the engine mode does matter. What seems to also matter a ton is, okay, so before I finish that, Williams VR is in the pits, so let's see where we end up when we go past the pits. Okay, we've gone past. Let's see what the gap ends up being when Williams VR comes back out. So it's about 3 seconds, over 3 seconds, and it's going up. So we should be safe here, unless Williams VR can just pull out some absolutely blistering laps. Anyway, so to finish my thought from before, it seems like short shifting and how far out you rev the engine really seems to make a big difference in the fuel usage of the car in Gran Turismo Sport. So, because my first impression when I came into the game was that, oh, you know, I'll switch into engine mode 3, 4, and then just rev out the engine as I would usually do and save a bunch of fuel. And while you do save fuel, to me it seemed like you don't save that much. So it seems like Williams VR actually lost a bunch of places. I assume there was a mistake involved or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, this is the final lap now, and behind us now is CMT 750 with about a almost pretty much an 11-second gap. So we should have this race in the bag as long as we don't completely screw it up. So, and we're actually coming up on the very first back marker that was in, and I do make a small mistake there, go a little wide and onto the grass. That could have ended up badly. Grass can spin cars so quickly. So I bumped it up to engine mode 1. I don't think it really matters at this point, but I definitely have enough fuel to make it to the end. And that's the last corner, and that should be it. Also, wow, that backmarker's name is Suicide Attempt. That's extremely morbid. I don't know what to think of that. So yeah, compared to the other video I put up, where I did the no stop, it really does seem like while the no stop does work, it's actually much, to me it seems like it's much faster to run flat out and do the one stop. I think you lose too much time trying to fuel save to not have a pit stop. So I really enjoyed that race, and you know, even though it was mostly uneventful, I always enjoy clean races and just seeing what kind of happens, and running your own race is sometimes fun, even if you're not constantly fighting with someone. So yeah, I enjoyed it. A good race. I will also say, like I said in the last video, that this daily race, even though I wasn't a fan of it at the beginning when I first got into it, because I just wasn't familiar with the Goodwood racetrack and I had to learn it, and I was finding it somewhat annoying just because I think it was hard. But as I learned it more and more, I found that I could be consistent and have good races. Though it is hard to run this race if you don't qualify well, because it's easy to get stuck in the pack, and because the track is so narrow, the amount of incidents that happen on this track I feel like are pretty high. So it's definitely a huge benefit to start up front and just stay away from incidents, kind of thing. So yeah, um, I really enjoyed that week of daily races. Well, mostly for this race, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed that race, and I hope to bring you more Gran Turismo Sport stuff soon. See ya.